Emotions are a fundamental part of being a human being. They color our experiences, they shape our perceptions of the world, and how we deal with our emotions makes all the difference in our well-being. But today we're going to talk about absorbing our emotions versus observing them. Hi everyone, Mireille Nicole here. Today I want to talk about the powerful topic of emotions. And like I said earlier, having a range of emotions is good. Like imagine going through life just feeling meh all the time about everything. Like how boring would that be? But I want to share here today the difference between absorbing your emotions versus observing them and what exactly that means and why that's so important. I actually posted a YouTube short on this topic and it did so well, so I thought I would really hone in on this topic in a video. So let's talk a bit about absorbing our emotions. When we absorb the emotions, we really bring them inside of us. We hold on to them, we might identify with them, and they really start getting a lot of control over us, right? Because we're bringing them into our being and it's influencing our response and our reaction to our environment around us. Imagine yourself getting taken away by a turbulent river. Or an example I love to share is this old story about a person walking down the street and hearing this horse racing, coming towards him from behind, and then turning around and seeing a person on a horse and then asking that person, "Where are you going?" And the person responds, "Ask the horse." The horse in this case, obviously being a metaphor for the person's emotions. So when we absorb emotions, we can get trapped, we can be taken away, and it can bring us in this negative cycle or this negative loop. Now, if we look at the flip side, that would be observing our emotions. And when we observe our emotions, we keep a healthy distance between us and the emotion. We don't bring it into our being, and before it can impact our reaction or our response to something, we have time to really assess it and to look at it and make a decision in terms of how we want to proceed based on this emotion. So in neither case are we ever denying, suppressing, or ignoring our emotions. In both instances, they are very real, very present, and we can honor them. But when we absorb our emotions and we bring them inside of us and we keep them trapped there and keep it close to us, we run the risk of replaying these negative emotions in our head over and over again. We let them impact how we feel in our body and what action that we take. Picture it like bringing someone into your house, allowing someone to come in through the front door. Once they're in, it could be a lot harder to escort them out of the house. And it's the same thing with your emotions. As soon as you bring them in and you attach to them, it may be more difficult to release them, but it's not impossible. So how can we practice the art of observing our emotions rather than absorbing them? And the first step is going to be to take a deep breath. And this sounds so simple, but I want to continue on with this analogy or this metaphor in terms of letting someone into your house, right? Think of the breath as looking through the peephole to see who's there first. If you just go ahead and open the door right away, you might invite a stranger that you don't want to have in your house. They might let themselves in too quickly before you have the opportunity to say, "No, thank you, not today." I really believe that we totally underestimate the power of the breath, and just even starting to take that simple action in your life today, even if you don't do anything different after the breath, just having that pause, that moment of awareness and reflection of even what you're feeling in your body and what's happening to that emotion that you're feeling. Just having that opportunity of mindfulness can be a game changer in terms of how you manage your emotions and how you observe versus absorb. The next thing you'll want to do is to label your emotions and detach so that you don't identify with them, right? So if you're feeling angry, instead of saying, "I am angry," you can say, "I am feeling angry," or "I am experiencing anger." That way it reminds you that you are not that emotion and you don't have to keep it. And let's go back to this analogy of the person coming into the house. All right, so maybe you didn't look through the peephole, you didn't take that deep breath. The person comes into your house. Remember, that person doesn't live there. Just because they're in your house for whatever reason, it doesn't mean that they own the place and that you have to keep them there forever and entertain them. They are a visitor, and it's the same thing with your emotions. They are temporary, they are visiting, and you get to decide what you want to do with them and how much time you want to spend with them. And actually, I just scooped what I wanted to say as a third point, but emotions are temporary. Remember that. Just like that visitor, that person person doesn't live in your house and you're welcome to escort them out. And hey, maybe they served a purpose by coming into your house or into your experience, right? Maybe there's a reason for you to feel these emotions and you needed it for some sort of insight into your world or who you truly are or what you need to do to move forward on your journey. So emotional empowerment comes from your ability to be able to observe rather than absorb your emotions. And this is especially important in the context of romantic relationships. Being able to healthily detach from your partner's emotions in a way that makes it so you're not sacrificing your own happiness and you can show up fully and be there for your partner is ultimately going to help you have that happily ever after. And it's going to help you navigate life's ups and downs in general. Remember, it's not about suppressing or denying your emotions, but rather embracing them as natural, temporary experiences. So let's choose to observe and empower ourselves for a more fulfilling relationship. Thanks so much for watching this video on emotional empowerment, observing versus absorbing emotions. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you would like any type of support with this, maybe you've tried and you're still finding yourself letting the stranger in or getting yourself carried away on this horse, make sure to check the link in the description and we can have a chat. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.